Doctor, you're welcome this evening, and we want to straight away go into the topic tonight, mental health. Today is World Mental Health Day. What is the picture in the country, first of all?
Mental health. Today we are celebrating Mental Health Day. By the way, under the theme, mental health is a universal human right. So the picture in the country is gray, I should say. It's not very bright, but it's not dark also. So we're just there in the middle. And why do I say this? I'm seeing a bit of happy people. Ugandans are happy, by the way. And of me, that makes me happy. We hear of this, is it the night economy and so on. People go out and play their music and have fun and party. And so that's a good thing. But also on the other side, of course, there are people who are struggling, people who are suffering, people are failing to make ends meet. We are seeing our young people in schools who are, also having issues. But just like I said, we are not so terrible. However, when they put us on the rate of Africans, I've been told that we are the 6th in the region with having mental disorders. But I also know that we are leading in substance use.
Let's start with the figure. 14 million people
have
something, a problem with their mental health.
Yes.
We want us to be sure. Is this figure accurate?
Okay. The answer is yes and no. The figure is not accurate in that we did not measure. We are just approximating. But where did this figure come from? We know that quite a number of Ugandans are actually having some form of depression. And we know that depression takes on different forms. It's severe, moderate, and mild. So, and we know that 1 in 5 people, 1 in 4, 25% of the population may have a certain form of depression. We also hear the anxiety. There are quite a number of people who are fearful, they are very anxious, they do things and they are very scared of, whatever they are doing. They have anxiety, we term it as an anxiety disorder. So about 10% of the population may have an anxiety disorder. Then when it comes to substance use, 9.8% of our people who take substances actually have a problem. Have already developed a mental health problem because of the substances they are taking. That's about 10% of the population having that problem. So, but the most important thing where the 14 now comes in is that whoever is having a mental health problem, the people around them, the carers, either their parents or their spouses or their sisters or whoever is taking care of a person with a mental illness will also have some form of, will have a problem, will be disturbed mentally. So that's why we even stretch it out and say 14 and more. So that is where the 14 comes in. We have not had a prevalence study, so we've not measured anything. But we are hopeful that sometime next year, in the next financial year, we hope that we shall be able to do a surveillance. We shall do some study that will give us the prevalence of the different mental disorders in the country.
How has the perception of mental health changed in Uganda in the recent years?
Okay, I think we are moving in the right direction. We are seeing, this is depicted in the number of people who seek for care. Initially people were suffering silently and remaining in their homes and not saying anything. But lately we are seeing people coming into care. That's a sign of reduced stigma or reduced fear about the illness. But also the information that we've given around, there's hope, of course, at the end of the day. Once something is hopeful, once something is positive, then things become better. I mean, people start seeing it as something that can, that is manageable. The risk factors are age-related. When we see parents going out to getting out of their homes, when we see single parents, when we see fathers not coming, absentee fathers, that will affect the mental health of the children, mainly. Of course, everyone in the home will be affected, but the children are adversely affected. When you don't see your father at home, when you don't see your mother, or your mother goes out every day and they take long to come, and sometimes you even don't see them at all. So these things, this new trend of looking for funds, for money for upkeep and so on, that one will affect the young people or the children very terribly, their mental health. And unfortunately, some of these things are seen much later. They come out much later. If someone was not parented very well, they were not loved, they were not given guidance, they were not supported as they were growing up. somehow their mental health, their ability to relate with others, their ability to be able to form, groups and partnerships that are meaningful reduces. So that's where the mental health now comes in for the young people. I mean, for the children mainly. We are seeing those in schools. We are continuing to see children coming very early to school and leaving very late without any physical activity. They're being packed with a lot of work. That one affects their mental health. So for as long as that is there, then our mental health is not yet so clear in that direction. But the screen time is affecting our mental health, but also our physical health. I've talked about the eyesight. When you're on the screen, you cannot do any physical activity. People have lived a sedentary lifestyle. Children, they just eat and sit. Eat, sit, watch TV and so on. And even the programs they're watching, some of them are disturbing their minds, their brains. We look at people who are killing each other. There's war everywhere. So a child gets used to, killing or beating someone or, becomes so normal. Uganda is the leading country in Africa to take alcohol. And some people do not even care about it. They are taking alcohol as if they're taking tea or as if they're taking a cup of milk, not knowing that tomorrow their minds are going to go off. They're going to have, they're going to be disturbed mentally. And they will need care that even at the end of that day, they may not even be cured. The drug use disorders, sometimes they cannot be cured. So the units in in Butabika, the unit in Butabika is a small one. The infrastructure that we need, for instance, in the regional referral hospitals, we have facilities, we have units, mental health units, but they are small, 35 beds for a whole region, a region of more than, maybe can take on about 12 districts that are being managed. Most of them do not have the alcohol units in there, or if they do, they just do it as a OPD, like outpatients level. But that kind of mode cannot treat a person with the alcohol use disorder. So we certainly need more infrastructure development at the regional referral hospitals to be able to cater for the increasing number of the disorders that we are seeing.
All right. Thank you very much,
Yes.
Dr. Hafsa.